Hello my darlings, I hope you're doing very, very well. I hope you are sitting comfortably, you are cozy, and you have your snacks and your beverages at the ready. In today's video, we'll be talking about tattoo copying or art copying or tattoo stealing or art stealing, whichever you'd like to call it. So tattoo copying is one of the biggest debates throughout the tattoo world, and it's something that doesn't seem to ever go away. It's something I have talked about a lot throughout my channel, especially in the early days of me making tattoo related content on YouTube. I focused a lot on tattoo copying and why it's not a good idea, and I of course still bring it up to this day when it is relevant. The majority of tattoo enthusiasts know that taking someone else's tattoo and directly copying it line for line is a huge no-no. And the same goes for artwork also. Taking someone's artwork and then taking it to a tattoo artist and then saying, hey, can you tattoo this on me without the artist's permission is also a huge no. However, there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people who selfishly take a screenshot of a tattoo and take it to another tattoo artist and demand that they get the exact same piece. So why is tattoo copying a terrible thing within the tattoo world? Well, I do have a pretty old video here on YouTube. Yes, look at that thumbnail. How different do I look to now? I've changed quite a bit, right? But yes, in this YouTube video, I go fully in depth about tattoo copying. So if you want like a full in-depth deep dive into tattoo copying and why it's not a great idea and the ins and outs, and you know, sometimes people say, well, what about this or what about that? I cover everything in that video, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. But if you want more details, I will leave a link down below to that very super old video, okay? But let's do a brief rundown as to why tattoo copying just isn't a great idea. Number one, it's lazy. Like, let's just put that one out there. It is so incredibly lazy. A tattoo artist copying someone else's tattoo takes them about 5 minutes to trace the lines, while the original artist probably spent hours, if not days, on one design. Like, that just takes the piss if you're asking me. Number two is profiting off of something that you did not create. So if a tattoo artist traces another tattoo artist's work and then, you know, charges for it, obviously they're profiting off of something they didn't create. Kind of gross, right? That's just a bit icky. Number three is the fact that the original artist gets absolutely no acknowledgement, no credit, nothing. The majority, if not all, let's be serious, all tattoo artists that copy other people's work never ever credits the original artists, and they obviously do this because they know they're gonna get called out. And the thing is with all of this, if any of this happened in any other industry, if say a musician was to copy someone else's music, you know, note for note, lyric for lyric, and claimed it as their own without, you know, reaching out to the original artist or whatever, lawsuits happen. This even happens if someone samples something and then, you know, doesn't ask permission from the original creator of what they've sampled. It happens within a lot of industries, mainly like, again, music, cinema, whatever, right? It can get really ugly very, very quickly, okay? And the same thing happens in education as well. So if you were to go to college, uni, school, whatever, and you were to directly copy your friend's work line for line, you're in big fucking trouble, okay? You're not getting any grades and you're possibly being kicked out of school, uni, college, your course, whatever. So basically, this is plagiarism, right? So I found this little snippet on Oxford Students about plagiarism. It says the university defines plagiarism as follows: presenting work or ideas from another source as your own. So if we apply that to tattoo copying, you literally take someone else's tattoo, do it line for line. What do we call that? You've literally just stole someone else's hard work that another artist has probably spent hours on. Plagiarism. And I fully believe that copying art or copying tattoos should be seen as plagiarism, especially when people are profiting off of it, okay? Like, please. Oh, and another really icky thing about tattoo copying that riles me up so freaking much is the fact that someone may copy someone else's incredibly meaningful tattoo, and this does happen. I have seen many stories from people that have had their tattoos copied being like, yo, this person has copied my tattoo and I got it from my granddad, who was my best friend, and he passed away like a year ago. And then there's just random Sarah Lou walking around with the exact same tattoo who has no idea the significance of the tattoo she has on her arm. Okay, like, can you imagine just how upsetting that would be to have someone just walking around with, you know, something that you spent so much time and effort on thinking about this tattoo, you know, making collages of this very personal, meaningful tattoo to take to your tattoo artist, and then they design this beautiful memorial tattoo for you, and then you post it on Instagram, and then like 6 months later you see some random broad with the exact same tattoo on them, and they have like zero idea of the significance of just how meaningful that tattoo is. And like, that would piss me off beyond belief. And there is legit people walking around with portraits on them of people they have no idea who they are. So they'll see a portrait tattoo on Pinterest or Instagram and be like, oh, that's really cool, I want that, because it's maybe got a lot of creative elements that they like on it. They don't really care about the face, right? And then they get that exact tattoo on them without knowing that someone's like auntie or uncle or grandparent or whatever, right? Like, ew. What? That's so messed up, and you cannot tell me otherwise. Now, you can absolutely use other artists' work for inspiration. You can take a collage of pictures of other people's tattoos and send it to your tattoo artist and be like, hey, this is the kind of thing I'd like, but can you like make it more unique to me? Like, draws me something up kind of thing, using these photos as inspiration. So the best way to show this is with my most recent tattoo. I recently got somewhat recently, a couple of months ago, I got a Sacred Heart tattoo on my upper leg, right? So I sent 2 inspiration pictures to one of my favorite tattoo artists, Emma Arietti. She is a traditional tattoo queen. Okay, she always smashes it. So I sent Emma this message. I sent these 2 pictures of other people's tattoos and said, I know these are black and grey, but I'd like colour, but a mashup of these kind of vibes. To be honest, do your thing. I'm not fussy. Always love what you do. So if we take a closer look at these tattoos, you can see one is a bit more on the traditional style and the other one is more realism. But you kind of get the point here. Some elements that are different between each one. So Emma mashed those 2 up and created this for me. As you can see, it's still got some elements from the other ones. We've got the rose there, of course. I think Emma has definitely clocked on to the fact that I very much do love rose tattoos. Can you tell? Can we tell? Yeah, this is how you do it. Like, I absolutely freaking love this tattoo so much because I now have a tattoo that is incredibly unique to me, but it still has elements from the inspiration photos that I really, really like. It's that easy. It's that simple. There is no excuses as to why you should be directly copying anyone else's tattoos. If you go to a decent tattoo artist that actually draws, the majority should. In fact, no, sorry, all tattoo artists should be able to draw. There's no excuses. Artist is in the name, okay? There's this TikTok that I come across that was quite insightful from someone called Maddie. The caption to this TikTok is, the artist is responsible for upholding the etiquette within the field they work, not the clients.
If you're a tattoo artist and your work is being stolen and other artists are tattooing your work onto other people's bodies, you have every right to be angry, but not at the client. At the artists. Saying that the client should take any responsibility when it comes to these types of situations is very misguided for the simple fact that the normal day-to-day person is not aware of tattoo etiquette, but tattoo artists are. For those who aren't aware, in the tattoo community, it is very, very frowned upon to tattoo another person's art onto somebody's body. There's a lot of things that go into tattoo etiquette, but I'm only speaking about this one thing. How do you expect somebody who's potentially never gotten a tattoo before to know this etiquette when it comes to the community? You can't. It's not factual. However, you should expect it from the artist. The tattoo artist is the one who works in the community and is aware of all of these etiquettes. The tattoo artist is the one who should be saying, no, I cannot tattoo another person's art onto your body. That is not the client's responsibility, that's the artist's responsibility.
And I agree with this so much. It sometimes is the case that some people are blissfully unaware of the etiquette when it comes to getting tattooed and, you know, the art industry. And while yes, I will always say do your research before getting your first tattoo or second tattoo, third tattoo, heck, 10th tattoo, sometimes people will just not come across this issue if they don't do enough research, or it's just something they don't come across. And some people just don't think to deep dive into the tattoo world before joining it, you know? Like, sometimes it's just not something people think of. I know some of my viewers have accidentally copied someone else's tattoo or artwork because you didn't know any better, and that's okay. Like, it's one of those things that does happen. We're not gonna like nail you to the cross because of it, you know, but it's your actions after you find out that really matters, you know? In my opinion, it will be forever and always the tattoo artist, the professional in the tattoo world, to tell their clients, no, we cannot copy someone else's tattoo or artwork because X, Y, and Z, okay? Like, they're the ones with the power to do this tattoo. So they're the ones that should be educating their clients and saying, no, this isn't right. But I can make you something that looks similar, but it's just a bit more unique to you. Unless, of course, the client does have permission from the original artist, then that's okay, obviously. So what happens when a tattoo artist is like, yeah, you know what? I don't care. I'll copy any tattoo, any Pinterest tattoo. I'll do it. Whatever you want on your body, I can do it. Who cares about, you know, what's right and what's wrong? I'm just gonna do it. It's fine. I love to profit off of other people's hard work. Well, we have this ultimate pick-me tattoo artist by the name of Scott, okay? Now, Scott is trying to undo all the hard work of tattoo artists, tattoo enthusiasts who have stood up and said, no, we are not tattoo copying, we are not stealing people's hard work, and, you know, basically speaking out against it for a very long time by making one of the worst TikToks I think I've ever seen. Like, it is just... oh my god. Scott basically just proclaims that he loves to copy artwork and tattoos and all of that, and it's no big deal. So in this TikTok, the caption is, not everyone's gonna say yes to your tattoo idea, but I will. Pick me. Pinterest inspo, Google finds, or custom. If you love it, I'll tattoo it. And then he goes on about his tattoo studio and when he's open and, you know, all that crap, okay? So Scott's TikTok basically starts off with a clip from another tattoo artist saying, no, I won't copy other people's tattoos, artwork, whatever.
They will not let go of that piece sometimes. They want exactly what somebody else has. Me, I will not do it. I'll refuse it. So if they come in and I have it booked and they want exactly what somebody else has, I'll tell them no.
I love to see content like this so much because it just restores my faith in the fact that there are tattoo artists living up to their actual job title out there, you know, tattoo artist. If you can't create art from inspo pictures or from your brain, why are you even a tattoo artist? Like, literally, why are you even a tattoo artist if you cannot do a part of your job? So yeah, anyway, like I was saying, Scott just loves to copy artwork, tattoos, whatever, with no cares in the world. Take a look at this.
I'll do it. You found a tattoo on Pinterest? I got you. Screenshots from Google? No problem. You saw it on someone else and thought, damn, I want that. Cool, let's make it happen. But at the end of the day, it's your body, it's your money, and it's your life. You're the one that gets to wear it, you're the one that gets to love it. And I'm just here to make sure you do you. All these artists like, oh, I won't touch other people's work, or, oh, I won't do Pinterest tattoos. I will. Come down here and I'll take care of you. Get the tattoo that you want.
Oh. Get me off this planet. Now, you all know me. I am such a your body, your choice kind of gal. However, it shouldn't be at the expense of other people's hard work. Your body, your choice should not be an excuse to commit art theft. Like, imagine using this whole your body, your choice as a way to get around being lazy and to profit off of other people's hard work. That is gross in my opinion. Like, what are you doing? And now because this professional tattoo artist is out here saying all of these things, the people that don't know any better are seeing this and commenting on his TikTok being like, oh my god, yay, like this is so great. And I was reading through his comment section and I was seeing red. Like, oh my god, I don't think anyone will ever understand the amount of strength it took within me to not reply to every single one of these comments while I was like looking through this kind of thing. And I did leave a comment on this TikTok. I said, this isn't the flex you think it is. Forgot to take a screenshot, and then when I went to go and take a screenshot, I couldn't find it anymore, which was kind of weird. It may have been pushed right to the bottom. There's a lot of comments on there, but I did do a big scroll and I couldn't find my comment anymore. Weird that, but it's a good job I have YouTube to talk about my feelings, so here we go. So here's some of the comments. One person said, I truly don't understand why tattoo artists get so upset about copies. I find so many cute Pinterest ideas and would be horrified if I was publicly embarrassed and turned away. And then Scott said, find an artist who respects his clients and their healing. So I will fully agree that there should be no tattoo artists out there shaming their clients for wanting someone else's artwork or tattoos put on them. They should gently and kindly and calmly say to them, hey, like, we can't really do this because someone else has put in so much hard work and effort into this, and profiting off of that is not a good idea. However, I'm going to take this tattoo design and make something super cool, super unique for you. You're going to love it. I can see what you kind of want here. So let's design something for you. We can discuss it and, you know, go from there and, you know, collaborate with one another. That's how it should be. This is what tattoo consultations are for. Not gonna lie, I don't know what it is about younger artists that have all these restrictions. Like, I get maybe only specializing in one style, but come on, do you all not like money? They don't like making money. No one's putting rules in my shop but me and wifey. To me, this is a good thing that there are tattoo artists out there saying, no, I'm not going to thieve someone else's artwork just to make money, because it's wrong to do that. You cannot take someone else's hard work and then claim it as your own and then profit off of it. To me, a tattoo artist not, you know, just being lazy and profiting off of someone else's hard work is such a green flag, like huge green flag to me. Like 20 of my tats I found online. 20. You've stole from artists 20 times. That's not the flex we think it is, honey. Pinterest, Deviant are a few other sources. He says he doesn't want to tap what someone else has. Guaranteed he's in a shop with a book full of flash designs. This is something a lot of people do bring up with the whole flash thing. So this could be a case of custom flash designs. A lot of tattoo artists custom draw their own flash, put it on Instagram, tattoo it once, will never ever do it again unless they say at the top, I'm happy to repeat these. So then the clients know that they're gonna be sharing tattoos with other people. It's all about transparency, okay? But the other thing that some people bring up a lot is old school flash tattoos that are all on old school tattoo studios walls. Depending on your age, may be aging myself here. When I first started getting tattooed, I would walk into tattoo studios and there'd be flash all over the walls, and they would be done by artists who know that tattoo artists are going to take these designs and tattoo them over and over and over and over again. They are signing up for that. They are consenting to that. That is the difference between taking art from Instagram without permission and flash on the wall. My biggest issue is that people want to shame other artists for repeating work, but the problem is that an idea can only be reimagined so many times. And wasn't that the whole point of flash? Again, I've already covered the whole flash thing. But there is so many different ways you can do, even rose tattoos. I am willing to bet every barbecue sauce in the world and every ranch in the world, I love barbecue sauce and ranch, okay? I'm willing to bet that you will not find the exact same rose tattoo I have on my hand line for line. Will you find thousands of red traditional rose tattoos online? Yes! Yes, you bloody well will. But will you find one that's exactly the same line for line? You will not find it. That's because my tattoo artist custom drew this to the shape of my hand. Same with this one. This was hand drawn onto my hand. You will not find this unless someone has directly copied it from my hand, like a picture on my Instagram or something like that. So yes, you're going to see thousands of tigers. You're going to see thousands of lions. You're going to see thousands of freaking flowers and whatever else people have. But the chances are they're not all directly copied line for line. You can put them up together. They will not be the same. Again, unless someone has ripped it off from someone else. Love his attitude. You got to wear it. I'm not scared to be me. Oh, so noble. Being a thief and being proud of it. Love that. But yeah, this is another argument a lot of people have. The whole, well, I'm the one that has to wear it. I'm the one that has to look at the tattoo all the time. And if that's what I want, that's what I should have, kind of thing. And it's like, okay, like I get your point. However, that is not a freaking excuse. Could you imagine if people use that in court when it comes to like copyright issues, plagiarism? Oh, you know, I just really wanted to, you know, take this because I liked it. That would not wash in court, honey. Why do tattoo artists actively hate money and clients? And then Scott said ego. I honestly think it's a massive ego thing to think you're above everybody else and you can just take what you want, right? Like, who gave you the right? That other guy is giving elitism vibes. Like, I get you're an artist, but unless you're a certain level, you still gotta get that paycheck. He's a dork who made numbers on Instagram. He's nothing special to the tattoo industry itself. Scotty, who are you? Who are you? Because I had never heard of Scott before this. So who are you in the tattoo world? Like, please. And it's definitely not elitism vibes either. Again, saying that people are not comfortable with taking other people's hard work is elitism is wild to me. If I was this talented, why are tattoo artists letting money walk out the door? I'd rather work on pieces that will bring people back through my door than overcharge for something they don't even want in the first place. I will always allow my artists to put their own twist to the ones I find online, but it's the one I want. I can't see why a lot of them struggle. I can see why a lot of them struggle. And then Scott said laziness. Those same artists will post they are booked when they only work 2 days a week and do 1 tattoo a day. Imagine calling people that don't want to take the easy way out and trace other people's artwork lazy. Isn't it like a plagiarism thing though? Maybe they avoid that. The amount of people that think it's illegal is crazy work. It's literally not illegal at all. People just get very butthurt, I assume. It very much is plagiarism. You are taking work from someone else and claiming it as your own. What is that called? Thank you. My artist will not copy someone else's art, will not. I respect that, and we always come to a happy meeting point. Because the industry bullies people into not creating unless it's original. Not me. Check out part 2. Yes, there's more parts to this. But it's not about bullying, it's about respect. It's literally about respecting people's hard work. So Scotty had posted this on his Instagram too. Someone had commented on the Instagram post saying, what a great mindset, just what the tattoo industry needs. Scott said, it is what the industry needs, someone who's not just a one-trick pony like you. Someone who cares about giving their clients what they want, not what you want. Maybe an artist without a big ego who posts slick comments like you just did on my post, because we all know you wouldn't say this to my face. You're gonna be in my next video, wink. Like that's some kind of threat or something. Oh my god. He's going on about like how artists have a big ego, but no one is having a bigger ego than Scotty right now, right? Like, come on. It's embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing, dying on the hill of saying taking other people's hard work is okay. So of course Scott has been lapping up all of this newfound attention that he has been getting, because of course his tattoos aren't enough for him to get any, you know, social media interaction on TikTok and Instagram and all of that. He's basically had to say something controversial to get attention. Imagine everything you've worked hard for, like your tattoos or whatever, doesn't get you the attention you want, but being a plagiaristic whore does. So anyway, Scott uploaded a part 2. The caption is, part 2, the goofballs. So apparently I'm wrong for letting people feel good in their own skin. Oh my god, like the whole I'm doing this to make people feel better, it's their body, their choice spiel is so gross. Like imagine using that as an excuse to be lazy. I can't get over this. It's just absurd to me. So here's how this part 2 starts.
Admitting that you would do this and do that.
Oh my god, are you 5? Are you 5? Grow up, you whiny man baby. Like, what the fuck? Oh, and then there's this terrible take.
What's up, guys? Let's have a quick chat. This person up here decided to make a video about me and say that they don't think you should be able to do whatever you want with your own body. That I don't know if they think you should ask them for permission, if we owe an apology, or what the problem is, but as they stole my video that I stole off someone else, saying that I'm wrong for stealing, she's also saying you can't do what you want with your own body. So, you're stealing my video to tell people I'm wrong for stealing, and now you're trying to tell me my clients can't do whatever they want on their own skin?
Oh, God. So, no doubt Scott will probably see this in some capacity, okay? So let me just address Scott right here and educate him a little bit on something. Scott, there's something called fair use. When someone uses your content to discuss it, it's called fair use. In this video, I am not claiming your content as my content. I am crediting you and I am discussing your content and I am transforming it. So if I made the exact same TikTok as the one that we just watched from you, Scotty, okay, I said everything you said word for word. Heck, I wore the same outfit. I had the same background and I claimed that as my original idea, as my original content, that would be the problem. Or if I took your TikTok and uploaded it to my TikTok, didn't make any changes, didn't make any edits to it, and claimed it as my TikTok, would be kind of weird because that's obviously not me, but hey, I'm claiming it as mine. That would be the issue. So let me just walk you through this in case you're not catching on to what I'm saying here. When you copy someone else's artwork or tattoos, you are doing all of those things. You are claiming someone else's work as your own and you are not crediting them. I hope this helps. Do we now understand the difference between fair use and inspiration and directly copying and plagiarizing? Are we getting it now? Yeah? Okay, great. So then, of course, Scott didn't end there. Oh, no. He basically goes on a rampage for anyone that does call him out on TikTok, and he just continues to embarrass himself further. So the caption to this next TikTok is, artists are big mad thinking they get to choose your tattoo, but this is your body, your story, your choice. Respect your clients and watch your page blow up. This is how you hit 10k followers. He's started to do all of this business pro bullshit, which is another red flag, but that's another story for another day.
So you won't do Pinterest tattoos because your stepdad won't let you. He told you you're not allowed. I'm an artist. I don't only do Pinterest tattoos. I've been drawing on pen and paper the old school way before a lot of you guys were even out of diapers. You know, before iPads. Imagine being so egotistical and having a God complex to the point that you think you know what's best for everybody else's bodies around you. It just doesn't make sense to me. As if it affects your life.
Okay then, Scotty, let's play this game, shall we? Let's say you have a very, very meaningful tattoo. So incredibly meaningful, you put a lot of time and effort into it, and it's for someone that has passed away in your life. And let's say I want to fuck around and copy that exact tattoo, okay? I go to a tattoo artist and I demand they do the exact same tattoo that you have for, say, I don't know, your granddad or a grandparent or something. And then I come and show you this with glee on my face, being like, oh my gosh, look at my new tattoo, look at it, isn't it so cool? I just really love these elements here, there, and everywhere about it, you know, like this flower, oh, it's so cute. And basically just taking it so lightheartedly about something that means so freaking much to you. You're telling me that that wouldn't piss you off? The fact that I have a memorial tattoo that you have on me and I'm just like, meh, it just looks cute. While yours is just like full of history and meaning and stories. That's not gonna piss you off. Be so fucking real right now. It very much does affect people's lives. Like if that happened to me, I would be furious. Okay, I have a few, you know, meaningful tattoos. And if someone copied them, I'd be so fucking pissed off. And I've had some of my tattoos copied. Luckily, none of my meaningful ones yet. My pizza pin-up tattoo, though, that has been copied more times than I can count at this point. It's fucking infuriating because someone put it on Pinterest. I don't know who, but it ended up on Pinterest. I didn't fucking put it there. And now every Tom, Dick and Harry seems to freaking have this tattoo, and it's so annoying because it's one of my favorite tattoos. I went to this very cool traditional tattoo artist named Danny Quapo, and yeah, seeing it done over and over and over again is so fucking annoying, and it doesn't really have meaning to me, thankfully, other than like, you know, pizza, and my pizza pin-up is covered in tattoos. I love tattoos, you know, that's basically it.
Also, if you crybabies are so worried about your tattoos being copied or whatever your problem is, then don't put them on the internet.
Okay, Scotty, you left your car parked outside. Do you mind if I just help myself to it? What's that? That's wrong? I mean, you left it there for anyone to take. You must have been okay with me taking it because you just left it there out in the open for anyone to take. So if I come around and, you know, take it from you, I mean, you were asking for it, no? Because you just left it out there in the open. Do you see how stupid you sound, Scott? Do you see how stupid you sound? People should be allowed to post things online without the fear of lazy meatheads like yourself coming along and taking it and claiming it as your own and profiting off of it. Like, the victim blaming is insane. I dread to think how he views other things, you know? Did you leave something somewhere and it got stolen? He'll probably say, shouldn't have left it there. Did you have a creepy ass man stare at you? He probably would say, well, why are you dressed like that then? If people like Scott are willing to say it about something like art, what else is he willing to say something like that about? He is not a safe bet to get tattooed by. I'm just putting it out there. Oh, and then this idiot gets even more ridiculous with his takes.
Imagine if you wanted your grandmother's name because she just passed away, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that tattoo, but I'm gonna spell it the way I want to spell it. See, the lady down the street has Jennifer spelled with a J, so I don't get made fun of by other tattoo artists, I'm gonna spell it with a G. Jennifer.
Come on, you know the basics, surely, okay? When it comes to tattoo copying, if two people have the same name, Jennifer, and they both get Jennifer tattooed on them, whatever, it's a freaking name. There's only so many ways you can do that. Yes, you can do different fonts and whatever, but like tattoo copying and art copying and stealing or whatever isn't that fucking strict. Like, use your freaking brain here. What tattoo artists and artists get pissed off about is custom pieces that are, you know, custom drawn. They have elaborate bits here, there, and everywhere. And then someone comes along and then takes that without making any changes. So we're going to do some examples right here and right now, okay? Seeing as this grown-ass man is not understanding. Yes, I'm using a colouring book as a paper piece because I don't have any other paper. Leave me alone. So let's say, for example, I want to get a tattoo for my auntie Ina and I want her name in it, okay? But I want it with a flower, okay? So let's just do a flower. Okay, let's just do a basic daisy, and then we have... Why did I do a pound sign? That's meant to be an E, okay? Okay, then let's just add some elements to make it a little bit unique-ish, kind of. I mean, this is a very basic. I don't have time to be drawing anything crazy right now. Okay, let's just add some butthole looking stars. Okay, do we see that? Yes, okay, work of art, okay. And then, oh, I don't know, I'll just put the freaking Scottish flag or something down there or something. I don't fucking know. Because my auntie is like Scottish, okay. What else can make this unique? I don't fuck me off, no. That'll do, right? That's kind of unique. Have you ever seen anything like that before? Probably not, because it's terrible. So let's say I get this tattooed, I put it on Instagram, and someone sees it and thinks, oh my goodness, wow, I have an auntie named Ina, or I know someone called Ina as well. I'm gonna get that exact same tattoo. So here comes Sarah Lou, right, getting the exact same tattoo, line for line. I've got to try and redraw this now. Let's do this, the Scottish flag as well. That's not the Scottish fuck me off flag, Lauren. Ignore that. Okay, let me try that again. Oh, Lord. This is why I don't do art, honeys. Okay, that's the Scottish flag. Pretend it's the exact same, okay? Thank you. And then we've got the butthole stars, okay? That's a copy, right? You would say, minus this, ignore that. Okay, that was a mistake. This is an exact copy, right? This is the issue. But if Sarah Lou takes this original tattoo, okay, to their tattoo artist and says, oh, you know what? I really, really like that. Couldn't I have something similar with the name and everything like that? Okay. Then their tattoo artist will come along and do something different. You see how these are like the same tattoo but different? Do we get it now? Like, you can have the same thing, but you can just make it different. If I saw these two side by side, I'd be like, yeah, I see the inspiration, but they're not a direct copy because it's not the same. It's not in the same composition. Sure, they still have all the same freaking elements, but not the same. These two here are the problem. Not the fact that there's the same names in each tattoo, okay? That's not a problem. Not the names, honey. No. It's the fact that there are people getting the exact same tattoo design. Not the names, not the elements. The design. I can't believe I'm having to, like, do all this to explain the... to a man. I feel like it's very, very self-explanatory, but whatever. And what's funny about all of this, okay? What is funny about all of this, after Scott is out here disrespecting artists and tattoo artists over and over and over and over again, Scott owns a t-shirt that literally says, respect the artist. The fucking irony! The jokes write themselves! Get in the bin! Oh my god, you're gonna do all of this and wear that? Get out of here. Anyway, moving along from Scotty's embarrassing behaviour, we have another situation when it comes to tattoo copying that is incredibly infuriating. And that's when a client thinks that they are getting a custom tattoo, but it turns out that they're not. And this happens so scarily often. There's a chance that you're walking around with a tattoo on you that has been copied from someone else's hard work and you don't even know it. So you may send a couple of reference photos to your tattoo artist and be like, hey, I'm kind of looking for something like this, but you know, you make your own design from this. And the tattoo artist will be like, yeah, cool, no worries, I can do that for you. And instead of actually drawing the design themselves, they will spend hours scrolling through the depths of Pinterest and Instagram to find a tattoo similar to what you're after, and then just copy and trace that and then be like, hey, like, this is what I've made for you. When in actual fact, they haven't. They've copied it from someone else. Obviously, as clients, we're none the wiser. We haven't got all the time in the day to be scrolling through Pinterest and Instagram to double check all of this, right? Because there are so many images that get uploaded to these apps. How are we meant to know, right? And that is just so freaking disgusting, to not consent to having someone else's artwork tattooed on you against your knowledge. Now, like I was saying, this sadly does happen, and it actually happened to someone that made a TikTok about it. It's very, very interesting.
I have a fair share of tattoos myself, but I just watched a video of a tattoo artist talk about how she's tired of seeing one of her designs constantly stolen, and I totally get that. But the part that got me was that she stated that she places about 30 to 40% of the blame on the client because they're likely the ones who brought it to the artist to copy. And I totally understand her point, but unfortunately it does happen the other way around, where the tattoo artist will use someone else's work without the client knowing. And I've been that client. A few years back, I got this fan tattoo to cover up a small name that I had on my wrist. Yes, it was an ex's name. Don't ever do that. Be better than me. So I found this artist because he was recommended to me. I checked out his Instagram. I really liked what I saw. He focused mostly on realism and Japanese traditional, which was really good and awesome and perfect for the fan idea that I had. I sent him a couple of reference pictures, but I told him ultimately I wanted to give him creative freedom and let him do his thing and whatever he wanted. All my parameters were Japanese traditional fan with maybe some floral elements if he could make it work. So I get to the appointment, I see the stencil, he has it already, and I like it. There were a couple of elements on it that I didn't necessarily like these little circles that you can kind of see. I didn't really understand them, but I thought, you know what, this is his thing, this is his jam, I respect it, I won't question it. His thing, he's got this. And the wrist is notorious for falling out very quickly, so I knew that there was going to be a touch-up appointment after this. So the first appointment's going so well. I really like this artist, and his books get full quick, and I was kind of in a mode of getting a lot of tattoos that year, so I booked a second tattoo with him for a few months down the line with ample time to get the touch-up on my wrist in between. So I told him what I wanted for the second tattoo at the first tattoo appointment. I go home, and then a couple months later, I go in for my touch-up appointment on my wrist. It only fell out a little bit and only on this part that kind of goes up to my palm, and he fixed it in a few minutes and it looked great. I asked him if he needed some reference pictures for my next appointment because we had only discussed like the subject matter, which was a swan and a peony. He said that since I was giving him creative freedom, he wouldn't really need a reference photo and he would be fine and have the stencil ready for the appointment. Well, day of the appointment comes. That morning he texts me and asks me for a couple of reference photos, and I sent him some that I found on Pinterest quickly because I was literally getting ready for the appointment. And it did strike me as odd and kind of a red flag, but I was like, you know what? It's fine. Maybe he's just busy, whatever. I trust him because he's an artist. So I go in, I see the stencil. I'm not a huge fan of it. I have him do a couple of tweaks. I'm still not the biggest fan, but I'm like, I trust his judgment. Maybe it'll grow on me. I plan on getting a full sleeve. Fine, whatever. So he does this swan and flower on me, and you can see it much better than the fan. I'm not a big fan of it. There's something about the placement of the flower that just doesn't do it for me, but I like it enough. It does, unfortunately, have some kind of sentimental value, but it is what it is. So during my third appointment for my second tattoo, there were a couple of moments that were really uncomfortable where he was talking explicitly about his private life with other women. And I didn't take this as him hitting on me, but I was seeing someone at the time, and when I reiterated the stories that he was telling me, the person I was seeing was intimidated by this fact and thought, oh, maybe he was hitting on you. But I didn't get that vibe at all, and I'm usually a pretty good read of the room. Like, I can read the room, I can judge a character pretty good, and I didn't get that vibe. I think he was just oversharing. So because I wasn't very comfortable, I knew I wouldn't be going back to that tattoo artist, but I was very happy with both of my pieces, happy enough at least to not be unhappy about them. Well, about a month or two after my swan tattoo, so about 6 months after my first interaction with him, I'm scrolling on Pinterest, and what do I see? My fan tattoo, verbatim, as a drawing though. So I thought, okay, maybe this is a coincidence. Maybe he drew it up, put it on the internet, linked it to Pinterest, and now I'm seeing it. So I do a little research, do some digging, look at the picture, look at the links, look it up in different ways on Pinterest, see a couple of other posts with the same image, realize that it's definitely not his work. I then go through all of the motions of grief, and I just kind of lost it, like emotionally, a little bit, for about a day. I felt so violated seeing that the fan that I explicitly gave him creative freedom over was not even his work at all. He didn't even put a little spin or flair on it. Actually, no, he did. When he got the stencil on, he had to shift this like string that went around. I don't know. That was the only thing he changed in this whole design. I felt very violated. That's like the only word that I can come up with. I gave him full creative freedom. I had seen other original pieces of work of his. I just didn't understand why he had to copy someone else's work and why he would take my money for it. So it's not always the client. Sometimes it's the tattooer as well.
I would be devastated, like literally devastated. And I'm pretty sure you can all agree with me that you would all be very, very pissed off about this. I love nothing more than having a custom, unique tattoo that has been designed for me. I of course love flash tattoos from tattoo artists as well. You know, if a tattoo artist puts up a wanna do, I love them too. Sometimes I have a few of those tattoos, but when I have an idea in mind or a design in mind or what have you, or subject matter, whatever you want to call it, I love having that custom made for me. So to find out that what I have isn't custom made, oh my god, it would suck quite a lot, you know. And I definitely for sure have to go to another tattoo artist and say, hey, can you like rework this or make it different, add some elements to it, you know, like can we change this up somehow? And I definitely wouldn't go to the artist that stole someone else's artwork ever again. I'm sure some people wouldn't be that pissed about the whole situation, and I'm sure some would be. I think it really depends how you view this whole situation when it comes to copying other people's tattoos and artwork. It just truly depends how much respect you have for the tattoo industry and artists. I'm just going to put it down to that. If you're willing to rip off other people's work, you're not a respectful person. Simple as that. There is definitely a divide within the tattoo world of those that just get tattooed of things they like from Pinterest or whatever. They don't really care about the art style of things and the actual tattoo industry and the culture and the history and what have you. And then you have people that absolutely love the tattoo industry, the art, and have nothing but respect for creatives. I definitely feel like it's been like that for many, many years at this point. Anyway, my darlings, that is it for today's video. I would love to know how you feel about this topic and tattoo copying, art copying, stealing, whatever you would like to call it. Please do sound off down below. And yeah, that is it for today's video. I just want to say thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little while. And until my next video, stay safe out there. Watch out for the tattoo copying boogeyman. And until my next one, bye.